All right. Hey kids, you ready to have some fun? Yeah, we're going to learn how to paint a rainbow tree today. So if you're ready, let's grab your watercolors, some water, a towel, and your paper. All right. So first we're going to mix up some color. We got the red, and we'll start with that. And we can make our tree any shape we want. This one's going to be a little bit rounded and kind of long. So we're going to start with red on one side, and then we'll go around the color wheel, which is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and then purple. So we'll start with red. There's some orange. We'll mix some orange in here. So we'll start over at the top of the tree here, and we're going to separate the orange and the red just a little bit for right now, and we'll come back and mix those colors together after a while. But first we're going to just kind of get the outline of the tree, the top of the tree, all the foliage that we want. So we'll put in some orange here, and then I've got two waters. One's for dirty water and one's for clean water. So we'll add some yellow here, and the reason we have two waters is so that our brush isn't dirty and we get dirty water on the painting. So we'll clean it off in the dirty water, and then if the color is light we need to go with clean water. If it's not, doesn't matter too much, it won't show with the dark blue and green and purple. So but yellow you need. So here we'll mix some green now. And we mixed all these colors from just three colors. We started with yellow, red, and blue, and then we mixed all the colors. So do you know what color green is made from? That's right, it's made from yellow and from blue, and that makes different colors of green. So this is a blue now, we're adding the blue. So you can see the tree, the top of the tree is starting to take some shape. It's kind of a little bit rounded on top and pointed on a little bit on both sides. So we'll go back and let's grab some purple now, and we'll finish off this side of the tree with some purple. So, and purple, how do you mix purple? Use blue and what color? Yeah, red. So in order to get purple you mix the blue and the red. So you can see the top palette, I've got that taped off so we only have the yellow, red, and blue, and then the bottom palette is where we mixed everything. So now we're going to come back with some water, and we'll mix all the colors together. So we'll make a nice rainbow color. So we got some green, a darker green, so that's got a little bit more blue than yellow, and the darker green there. I'm using dirty water on that. Clean it up, clean up the brush, and go into some yellow because we want a nice bright yellow color. Now I made a mistake here along the way, so you tell me what it is. It's not yet. We're going to mix some colors together here. Let's mix the orange and the yellow together. We've got some water there, so we'll add a little bit more orange along the yellow and orange there to kind of help those bleed together. If your paper's real wet, you won't need to add more water. But if it's not a little bit wet, you might have to add a little bit more color after you put some water down. So now we're mixing the red and the orange together. And then the orange goes into the yellow. So we're just kind of squiggling the brush back and forth just to make kind of feel like you got leaves or texture in your tree up there. So there we go, mixing a little bit of blue into the yellow and green. That makes more green when you mix the blue into the yellow. And we'll mix the blue and mix that into the green down there. Maybe bring it over into some purple. There we go. So all of our tree is starting to take shape. See how all the different leaves are kind of coming together, kind of look squiggly in places, and makes it look kind of like a tree. So we'll bring our blue and purple together some more across the bottom here. getting close to where I made a mistake. You tell me what it is. Oh, yeah, right. You see how that's kind of dirty? I use the dirty water, so I'm going to take a wet brush and kind of scoop that up and then get a paper towel. And while it's still wet, I can kind of dry up that dirty water that I put down there. So let's go back and get some clean water. Try that yellow again. There we go. That's clean. That looks much better. We'll mix the green and yellow a little bit. And let's mix some orange in here. The red, bring that across the bottom a little bit. Okay, so we're getting close to where we're going to mix some color for the tree trunk. And that's going to be brown. And you can still mix that with all the colors we have right here. Just the red, started with yellow, red, and blue. But after we finish off the bottom of the tree here with a little bit more green, I'm going to mix a brown color. And the way you mix a brown color is you take all of the colors that you have out there. So your red and your yellow and your blue, a little bit of purple. And we'll mix, wipe off our brush in between so we don't get the paint in with the other paint. So there we go. That's getting a little darker there. That's a little bit too gray colored, so we'll add a little bit of yellow to that. Yeah, it's a little bit more brown. I don't know if we have quite enough paint, so we'll mix a little bit more. That's kind of a brown color. A little bit more yellow. Clean off the brush so I don't contaminate the other color. And a tiny bit of purple. We may make green a little darker. And that's not brown anymore, so that's more of a kind of a greenish color. So we're going to have to add a little bit more yellow, maybe some red. So add a little red, see what happens. Okay, that might be a little bit too much red. So let's add a little bit more yellow. Clean the brush again. There we go, a little bit more yellow. It's kind of a nice brown. I like that brown color. What do you think? So we'll mix our browns, or all of our paints together to make a brown. And then we'll draw a little trunk down here, just like almost right in the middle of the tree. We'll pull it straight down. Maybe the base of the tree gets a little bit wider. And it's okay to leave a couple strokes like that, because that makes the tree look like it's made up of different branches. So, and then we'll come back, add a little spot here and there, it kind of darkens. And then put a little bit into the top of the tree. There we go. Now we're going to have to let it dry for a while. So we'll let that dry, and then I'll come back and show you how to finish the tree. So, yep, there's a time warp. We just let it dry. Okay, so we're going to mix a little bit darker color brown now. So we added some more blue. That's a little bit too blue. So we need to add a little bit more red to that. That might be a little bit too purple. I don't know, that's not too bad. That's a little bit darker, because we want to add a shadow to the side of the tree. So on the left hand side of the tree there, we're just going to put a light stroke, just real light. We're using the very tip of the paintbrush for the tree trunk, and then real light tip of the tree. We'll put a few branches coming in. The branches are kind of broken up because you got leaves in front of the branches, so that one up in the yellow stops at the green, but our eye makes it, we know that it comes back down to the trunk in there someplace. There it comes up in the blue, and then it's going to skip that area up here again, maybe come up a little bit higher, and we'll just add a couple branches here and there. We don't have to get too carried away. You don't see lots of branches if you have a real thick tree. So there we go. We're getting pretty close. Tiny little, and we're keeping all the shadow on the left hand side of the tree. So If you remember your art classes, they round around, so it's going to be highlight on one side and round to the left. So I hope you had fun. Okay, kids, we'll see you next time.